Hi guys, I recently did a video about changing colors on using a loom as a rake like this. A straight loom or a rake it can be called. And I did a video showing how to change colors, and it kind of looks like down here, where you're just going from one solid color to the next solid color. And what I realized, it took me a little while to realize, is that I had you guys doing it wrong, where you end up seeing this stitch right here that kind of shows that you forgot to wrap. And I realized when I went back through my scarf that I had a couple spots that I actually didn't have that. So I realized that I kind of might have messed up a little bit when I showed you guys how to do it, because we forgot to wrap a peg. And the reason I knew that is because this time I did, if you look, it doesn't have that extra loop on either side. If I turn this over, it actually looks straight across. And again, the only reason you can see this is because the brown yarn is thinner than the pink yarn, so you can kind of see through it. So this is just a quick video. When you want to change colors from one striped color to another, again, just going from one solid color to another solid color, this is what I'm going to show you to do. And there we go. You're going to need a crochet hook, scissors, and your alternating yarn, which I just lost my yarn that I was going to use. There it is. Okay, so I'm going back to the brown because I've been alternating the widths of the colors, and I just wanted a small piece of the pink now. So now we're going to cut and we're going to add the brown back on so I can work that color. So what I'm going to do is find my end of the color I'm going to switch it back to. You're going to cut a little tail of this one off. Put that aside. Now what you're going to do with your crochet hook, if I can show you here, let me aim this down a little more, is you're going to come over a couple pegs, go in it, grab that string, pull it through just so it's over a little more. You're going to do the same thing with your color you want to change it to. Come in a little ways, and you can kind of wrap it around your finger like that just to create a loop, and make sure you grab that one as well and pull that through. And again, it kind of separated the yarn on me, so let me do that again. I'm going to cut this off a little bit because it separated my yarn. As you can see, it kind of separated. I don't want to use that. So again, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go in under one of these strands, and you're going to want to put the new color that you want to change it back to, or whatever color you want to change it to, I should say. It's usually not this difficult. Alright, get in there. Alrighty, so I do that. You don't need this crochet hook anymore, so you can put it aside. Okay, keep your scissors. You may want them to trim. Now you have two strands here. You're going to tie them. And this is pretty much the same process I showed you the first time I did this video. I'm just doing 2 knots because I prefer 2 knots. Then I prefer to trim it down just a little more. It's your preference. I wanted to be able to hide it. Now, what I did in the first time I did this video is I forgot to have us go back over and wrap. I, for some reason, was thinking I had to go like at an angle differently. So you end up seeing, again, this extra stitch up here instead of seeing it like this. So we're going to go ahead this time and we're going to come up, but we're going to come back down to that first peg. Again, this was not something I had you do in the first one. So you're going to come back down to that first peg and wrap it, and then work your way across the loom just like you did before. And you can kind of see that lines up. If you look down, it almost looks like you're looking through holes. That lets you know that you've got it lined up right. Okay, and then go ahead and knit it over. Oh, I forgot my tool. Okay, so go ahead and knit it over. But see, the first time I had you do this video, I had to start wrapping at this peg and not the first one. And that's why, again, you get this extra loop right here. And we want it to look like a nice edge. So I'm sorry for that. I apologize. That's why I wanted to make sure I did this updated video. The other video has been deleted at the time you see this, so there won't be any confusion. And like I said, I just felt bad and wanted to correct it as soon as I realized, because I've done that kind of project before and not had the extra loop show, so I don't know what I was thinking during this process with the scarf. But the scarf is for me, so I'm not too worried about its presentation as much as when I do this again. And I just wanted to show you. So you knit over one side, go ahead and knit over the other. And it's just the figure 8 stitch, that's all we're doing. So your yarn's out of the way. Okay. So like I said, this will make a nicer edge when you change colors. And again, this is when you're doing the figure 8 stitch. Get that out of the way here. So it's when you're doing the figure 8 stitch. This will make it look like a nicer edge. Go ahead and push them down. This is what it should kind of look like. You should see the black or the brown and the pink going on there, and you're going to work your way back to the beginning. And what it's going to do now is create this nice edge like this and not create this extra stitch color. And I apologize for the mistake in the first video. I do try to go back and watch my videos in case there is a mistake. So I'm really glad I caught this kind of early on. So again, that's all we needed to change. If you saw the other video, you know what I did differently. If you haven't seen it or you didn't get a chance to see it, then great, you're seeing the actual right way version of doing it. So again, just work your way back and forth, and I'll come back and show you the difference now that we did it, adding in that peg from the beginning. Okay guys, I worked it down a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Again, we have a nicer edge right here and here versus where we had on the green one. So I do apologize again for the mistake if you watched the other video. So go ahead and do it as we did in this new video, where we actually make sure we incorporate that first peg when we go back to wrapping the new color on. So I just hope you guys understand that, you know, you can have a lot of fun with looms and changing out colors to make it a really cool pattern. Like I said, the scarf has green in it, it's got yellow, and it's just a fun project. And again, I realized early on that I did have one that came out well, so that's what kind of made me realize right here. I noticed early on that I did have one come out with a nice edge, so I got confused, and down here, so I got confused kind of how I messed that up on you guys for that video. So again, I apologize. So go ahead and do that, and you'll end up with a nicer edge for your scarf or baby blanket or whatever else you choose to do on the straight loom, using it as a rake with the figure 8 stitch. And have a great day, everyone.